guys.
Hello.
Who do we have here? Hello, Thomas. Hi, Amari. So, first stream of 2021. How is everyone doing? We have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We have, a lot of stuff. All of that stuff means Wonder Woman. But before we start and before I bring the girls in, I just wanted to really quickly talk about this. So, on our profile, if you guys check the Nerd Queens at Twitter, there is this little post that is the art auction for the event that we had back in December, which was Deck the Hall of Justice. And there's 14 amazing pieces of art which are being auctioned off, all profits going to AFSP. So if you check it, you'll find it there. There's all the artworks. You can kind of zoom in on them. If you want to zoom in on them more, feel free to text us and we will send you some sort of a version that you can check. Here's a little bit of a rules of what you should do, but all that is there on the post as well. So make sure to go check it out. It's on until 9th of January, midnight EST. So make sure you get your bids in there if you'd like to get yourself any artwork. Anything to add for starters, my dear?
No, other than that, to place a bid, you just comment on the post with the number of the artwork that you want.
Hello, everyone. What's up, everyone?
Nice
to see you. All right, so we have a couple more girls coming in throughout the stream. But to start off, we have Chelsea and we have Nash. Hello, girls. How are you?
Hello. Good to be back.
How has been 2021 treating you so far?
Pretty good. I started classes again with my winter semester, but nothing too.
Are you still remote?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are back in lockdown today, apparently, for 6 weeks again. So.
Oh, I saw that UK was. I didn't know if that affected you over in Wales.
Yeah, well, as far as I know, it does. But then again, I don't know much. I just don't look at it because I pretty much just live here now in my cave with Mimosa and Harley. So, that's how it is.
Oh, I wish we could have been in lockdown again.
You guys
are seeing cases going up and nothing. I'm scared, to be honest. But
that's not good. We need vaccine.
Yeah.
We need a vaccine.
I'm into that.
Fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So you girls have seen this little movie called Wonder Woman 1984? I bet you
have.
Yeah. So what were your first thoughts about it?
When start, Chelsea? I enjoyed it. I watched it from home. I really did like it. It's definitely in my top 4 DC films that I love. It gave me the same feeling as what the first one did, where I got tingles all over when I was just watching it the entire time.
Yeah, though it did feel like it was missing something that would be similar to the No Man's Land scene, but it did give a lot of the first feeling vibes.
I think a lot of the action made up for it that they did. There wasn't a No Man's Land, but there was still action.
For me, I think that I preferred the first one to the second one.
Oh, definitely.
I don't want to throw in spoilers because I don't know how much of our audience have watched it or not. But I felt like the second one. I mean, maybe for me it's just the tone. I do generally enjoy darker movies, so I probably I felt like. For me, what I told Cole, one of my first thing was, but that's the thing about this is it's entirely my feeling and just like sort of what I would like to see. And that was, more of a serious topics as far as like the current political climate that it was set in, and then, all that stuff around that. And I felt like it wasn't tackled at all. Like there was a little bit at the end, like you could feel, okay, there's a Cold War going on, but it was just so on the background. And I would really enjoy, like when I first saw it's going to be Wonder Woman 1984, Cold War was the first thing that came to my mind. And I was really interested how they're going to tackle it and how they're going to tap into it. And I felt like they didn't do enough with that, like that they could have done more. But that was my own like feeling. And obviously Patty chose to go a different way, and but I enjoyed it. And I have like the beautiful eye scene.
Yeah, that was really well done.
That was amazing. Yes. I think I accepted the movie for what it is, and I tried to keep my expectations aside, and I loved it. Not as much as the first one, but I do love it, so I'm fine.
So
we have another person joining us, and you make a new face. Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
Tell us who you are so that everybody knows.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I've been a DC fan since at first I was a Marvel fan. And then
sorry, voted off the island.
And then one of
You're
my
forgiven.
friends, who's a film person, she said, "You should check these movies out. They're amazing. I just know you're gonna love them." It took me, I'm not kidding you, at least 6 tries to finally watch Man of Steel. I don't know why I was so hesitant, but then once I finally watched it, I was in love. And then I was able to find Batman versus Superman. And then when Suicide Squad came out, I was instantly clicked. I was like, okay, forget those movies. These are my movies. I love them so much. They're so good. And I have yet to find the perfect comic book, but whenever my friends tell me about certain things, about certain characters, I'm like, yes, give me all the information. I love it. I don't care. I love it. And I've met so many amazing friends.
Well, I mean, you are such a source of positivity on our timeline. I absolutely love it. Like your posts always cheer me up. It's like in the madness that Twitter can be, like you're always so positive, and you always bring in light into whatever mess is going on there right now. So we really, really appreciate you.
It's an honor. I want so much positivity because I know that there are so many negative people out there. And I'm like, guys, it's okay. We're going to get through this. Here's something to smile. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's really refreshing to see when people are positive, especially on Twitter. Have you seen Wonder Woman 1984?
Yes, I saw it the Saturday after it came out, so the 26th. I saw it on the 26th.
What are your thoughts?
I loved it. A little. There was a few scenes that dragged a little, but besides that, amazing movie. I loved everything.
Okay. No, I mean, Cole, do you have anything to add to Wonder Woman 84 topic?
There were a few things that were a little bit on the edge of sketchy, but I really did like it. I liked how corny 80s it was, because that's just the vibe the 80s gives off. The 80s is hella corny. And I watched it with my dad, who had a lot of flashbacks he wasn't happy about. He was like, well, I remember when those were fashionable. I loved Barbara. She was amazing.
I think Barbara was great.
My favorite part, definitely, though, had Hysteria.
Oh, she's amazing. Yes.
You know, it was funny, though. I recognized her from the actress from her eyes alone. I was like, wait a minute. I know that eyeshadow and that mascara. I know those eyeliner. I
Same.
literally
I wanted to ask you girls, what did you think? So when we were talking about Barbara, because she was amazing, but when we were at the topic of her, what did you think of her relationship with Diana? I felt like it was a little rushed. I felt like,
Yeah, I agree.
you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
they could have either, done more with it, for sake of something else. I just felt like, her dead. How is she your friend? And it just seemed a little rushed on that side for me. I felt like they should have done spend more time building that
Yeah.
friendship between the two, or forego the friendship and just sort of, because Barbara could want to be like Diana without being her friend.
Yeah.
That was not
I
necessarily.
think that was the implication, though. It seemed very like we're starting to become friends. And she was already jealous of her because she's jealous of any woman who's gorgeous and poised and perfect. But this was the first time a really gorgeous, poised, perfect person was giving her the time of day. So it was kind of like that's why she targeted Diana specifically.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Makes
being the
sense.
kid that always gets bullied at school by the popular girls. And there's one that's suddenly nice to you, and it's like, well, this is new.
Yeah. I've definitely had those moments where at first I was a little jealous of the gorgeous girl in school, but then the moment I finally got to talk to her, I fell in love, like in a friendship way. And I remember this one girl in high school, I ended up adopting her as my mom, and we did Girl Scouts together. So whenever I saw her in our Girl Scout troop meetings, I always had to sit next to her. I was so fascinated and everything. So yeah, for me personally, I feel the jealousy should have possibly gone away, but I mean, that's how I am.
Well, that's what also makes the fact that they just met more palpable. They literally just met. So like the fact that she was so jealous and like envious of her and that was her wish was to be like her, it makes so much sense. Cuz like if they became friends, like really deep friends, and they began to understand each other, it'd be a little weird. It's like, but you know her as a person. So why would you be so jealous? Like, she's not perfect. But Barbara had just met her and she was so nice and she was this perfect like image of what Barbara wants to be. So I think that was okay. Like, yeah, it was a little rushed because you could tell that they had like that moment when you realized that this person could be one of your very best friends. But like then it was just gone. I think that's part of what makes their relationship tragic was that they both really needed a friend. They needed someone who understood them, and they started to have that, and then jealousy and the wish stone got in the way.
Yeah.
By the way, other than Barbara being completely a showstopper, I love how they did the invisible jet thing.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
so cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
The best part was she
It
was like, I
was.
made a bug disappear, but I've never found it, and I still haven't found it. It's like,
That was funny. Yes, I love that little.
I really
reference.
loved how they really reached back into her lore as a demigoddess. They didn't just like, throw that out. They were like, yeah, she's a child of Zeus, and Zeus did hide Themyscira. So honestly, it was very real. Like it felt like it should have always been canon that she could do that.
Yeah, like it completely makes a lot of sense, and I
Yeah.
love that they did that.
I also like the fact that when it's just all completely invisible, even the people inside it. That's one of the things that I didn't
Yeah.
like. It's like, are just
Like
her
in-
invisible. I just
Like
did not
in the
like that.
show or the cartoon, you just see her floating in a sea
Yeah.
of people. It was like,
Like imagine you saw Steve and Diana just floating in the middle of fireworks. A lot of people would be very scared.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I think I'd be uncomfortable too, because like in those comics, like obviously you see her floating around, but it's the same for her, isn't it? She doesn't actually see what she's like piloting. So it's kind of like, can you imagine that you're just sitting in the air?
Yeah.
And it's like,
You
I
need to
don't
see
know.
the commands and all the buttons and everything.
I know it's like you gotta,
It requires a lot of imagination, I guess.
Mhm. right?
Because she's turning.
We don't know if
Yes.
she can turn them invisible again. I mean,
That-
we've seen Diana in BVS, but I don't think there really was an opportunity for her to turn anything invisible
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I
do
mean-
so on screen.
I mean, honestly, like, this is like she's mortal. Her life has already lasted a lot longer than a normal human's lifespan, especially growing up on Themyscira, and she is still learning how to use her abilities, which, is completely believable. I mean, yeah, it's been how many years since World War I? It was like 70, 50, I
Yeah.
think.
Mhm.
Something like that. It's been a long time, but for an immortal who's also trying to cope with the trauma that she went through of leaving her home and all that, and like losing her first love, and watching all her friends die, this is the first time she's actually affected as being an immortal. So it's kind of like practicing isn't really like up there. It's kind of like I want to just, go lay in my blankets and eat ice cream and cry some days and not practice on making a coffee mug disappear. Like, I
Yeah.
think that I think she literally, I also think she just had a day where she was like, huh, I wonder. And then it worked. And then she was like, well, I could try to do that again, but, I'm busy.
Well, I think there's also the part, obviously we can tap into the lore of what happens off screen, but there is only so much time that you can have with her on screen. And I think it has to make sense for her to be making something invisible on screen for it to, she has so many abilities. She can speak all the languages. She has the lasso. She's a great warrior, all that stuff. You kind of have to pick and choose what she's going to use at the particular situation dealing with the threat she's dealing with. So, just because she didn't make things disappear in BBS, because she does say in the Wonder Woman 84 that, before she couldn't really do it. She could make mud disappear, but that was it. So clearly this was her first sort of big project, so to speak of. But in BVS, we saw her only, very briefly as far as, fight and her abilities go. So she didn't really have, a need to do that. We don't actually know if we get to see any of this stuff in Zack Snyder's Justice League. We might not. So I wouldn't necessarily think that this is something that sort of takes a turn from the DCU. I think it's just opportunity kind of thing.
I just opened Twitter and I saw that Walter Hamada has been brought back on for a longer stint as DC's president.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Until 2023.
Who's reporting it?
Variety.
Wow.
Takes.
So they can listen.
Yeah,
Obviously.
speechless.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right then. Another issue to tackle. But let's carry on with the Wonder Woman 84. Because I wanted to ask you girls one thing that I kind of wanted your thoughts on, because I've seen it around floating on the internet, and especially Twitter, because Twitter, gets upset over anything, whether it is or isn't valid. And there has been this whole thing about the controversy with Steve taking over somebody else's body, and then obviously Diana having a sexual relations with him, and that it classifies as a rape. So what is your stance on this issue, and what do you think of it? And, did you participate in any of these conversations?
For me, I didn't think of it right away like that until someone pointed it out, and I was like, "Oh wait, that kind of seems kind of bad."
It's complicated, definitely. I don't really know how to feel about it. Like, I can see where each side of the argument is coming But like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, initially, I was really happy with how they brought Steve back because it made so much sense, and it made more sense than him just popping up in his body, like, you know, like a freaking zombie. But
Yeah, that would have been a little interesting.
it's a loaded discussion. I don't know. And like people were saying online how if it was reversed with the gender, we would feel differently, and it's definitely possible. I don't know. I just feel like there was the euphoric moment of like, hey, I'm reunited with this person I'm in love with. I don't think it was anything nefarious, but that doesn't mean it wasn't wrong. I don't know. Anyone else want to say something?
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's a totally fictional situation, so we don't need to worry that much about this because this is definitely not going to happen in real world. So why to bother? But yeah, it has a lot of discussions to come out of this. But like Cole said, Diana was really happy to see Steve, and I think that's part of her flaws and her trying to find herself in this world of humankind. You know, she's not perfect. She's far from perfect, and she possibly made a mistake, but she made it up for this later on. So there's not a problem for me, to be honest.
What about you, Chelsea? Be brutal, you always are. You have thoughts. I can feel the thoughts.
When I was watching it, I didn't think much of it until people started pointing it out, and then I'm like,
"Hi, Tiff."
Hello. I thought it was kind of weird because I can see people's points as to why it is weird, and it's like, it's just like well, since Diana wished for Steve to come back, why didn't he just come back fully? But then I'm like, well, maybe I guess the stone has like limits, because when Lord Maxwell wished for like more workers, it was like actual people coming in. It wasn't like they just popped out of nowhere. So I guess like maybe there's like limitations to the stone and how it works. But I just don't see why maybe Patty just didn't have them wish for Steve to come back physically, like with his own body.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those gray areas where it's like hard to tell what's right or wrong. But at the end of the day, all we can really say is that we don't know why they did it that way. We're not in their heads. If this was a real life situation, it would 100% be wrong. And consent is the most important part of a sexual relation. It's just it's a charged situation, definitely.
What are your thoughts, Tiff? I don't know if you caught what we're talking about right now, but
I was just rushing to get in, so I didn't get what the question was.
We were talking about the controversy that was surrounding the Wonder Woman 84 part with Steve coming back in the body of a different person, and then obviously Diana having a relationship with him. You know, a lot of people, you know, seeing it as basically a rape. And what is your stance on this? And what do you think of the situation? And if it should have been handled differently? And
honestly, I understand frustrations and I understand people's point of view. I do know when I like the fact that they explained it, at least the beginning well. I like how when he said, you know, hey, look at this body, you know, what do you think? And she's like, the body's great, but all I see is you. So we saw where she was coming from. But for me, and it's not just because my husband said it, we both kind of thought the same thing when he did a video explaining it. But we are big fans of the movie, or not the movie, the TV show Quantum Leap. And it's kind of like a, I don't want to say like a time travel thing, but it's like when he was in that show, when he leapt into that person's body, it was almost like they were pulled out to like this, you know, the way that it's explained, the way that it, you know, they were pulled out, that it really was him there versus, and then trying to play devil's advocate here is like, yes, it was that guy's body, but it was also very much Steve. So to me, I think of it as more of a quantum leap situation. But that's just me personally.
That's a good way to look at it. I'm glad you said that. You also that you reminded us that she said that all she sees is Steve, because that's a good thing to remind us of. It's just hard to dissect like which direction your feelings should be on this, because it's like, of course, like he didn't get a chance to, like the guy in the body didn't get the owner of the body was used, but it's also like it's
like
hard.
It's like quantum leap. Like I don't want to say like he didn't remember, but it's like at the end of the movie as well, when he stands there and he's like, "Man, this looks beautiful." It's like he didn't know that was. I mean, yes, it happened to be her that he was talking to, right? But it was like that quantum leap thing where it's just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like, never seen you before, because all she saw was Steve, not that guy. So, but that's just me personally.
Okay, this is a good follow-up question. I think that like if she could have kept Steve, she probably would have.
Yeah, because I mean, you saw that fight between her when she was like sitting there, and he's like, this might have to happen, and she's like, why can't I just have this one thing?
Yeah, I think that but I read somewhere, and Patty responded to it, that this was sort of like her also bringing up the issue with like 80s rom-coms with the switch bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that like the entire, this was a very complex issue in general, because obviously, as you said, Steve came back, but he came back in a different body, and Diana said, "All I see is you."
Yeah.
And even if we put aside, the whole possible rape issue, there's this whole entire thing that this person existed. They had a life. They had something out there, and obviously there was not a thought spared for this person up until all of it was taken back. Like, to me, even like when she was giving Steve up, she was giving him up without really thinking, I'm letting this person, come back to whoever they were. It was mostly her giving Steve up so she could save the world. And I think there's a lot to unpack on that front. Like, was it ethical? Would it be okay if she did that? But I think that's what Nash was, hinting at. She's not perfect. She makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes her relatable, because then again, if we were in this position, there was a person that we loved the most in the world and we lost them, and then we got them back this way, would we be willing to let them go?
It would be hard. It shows her human side.
Exactly, yeah. She had to think for herself, but also like in the sense of everything else. Like, okay, yes, you got the wish, but do you really need it? Like, she had to learn about that from herself, I feel.
And it kind of tied back into that what she learned in the beginning when we saw her as a kid going against the older Amazons. When she pulled her back and she's like, no, you're not going to do this until you learn like the truth and that you're going to win with honesty. And you could see her fighting that within herself when she's just like, I can't let you go. I can't do this. But yet she's walking by hurt while he's walking, by that wall where they said that goodbye. And she's looking at people on the ground, being huddled because it's like she had to make that decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that like that was the heaviest part of the movie. I think that what I liked about this, as you're saying, like when it started off with, obviously her on the Amazon Olympics at the beginning, and she was taught the lesson that you need to learn to accept the truth and live by the truth. And essentially the entire rest of the movie is a similar situation, that she needed to learn to accept the truth no matter what the truth was, and that she's not always going to come on top of it. And I think that that's what made like the use of The Beautiful Lie so good, because first of all, it's a beautiful song, and second of all, it's called beautiful lie, and it was just used. It was used so very well in the movie, and I must admit I was worried how they're gonna use it, and I had a theory they're gonna use it when I think all of us did, or most of us did. They're gonna use it when Steve has to go, because I think we all knew that he will have to go.
Yeah.
So the fact that they didn't use it at that point, that they used it on that particular scene where she reminds everybody, I think it was really well used, and I really, really liked the paradox between the two.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I cried.
I did too, because you could see the
Me too.
anguish in her when she knew she had to make that decision, and she's running and crying and like screaming. It's like that's probably what I would have done too,
Mhm.
because she knew it was the right decision. She just didn't want to have to make it.
Yeah.
And I feel we've all been there, where we didn't want to accept the truth, but we
Yes.
had to anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It is true. It is very true. But yeah, no, I think that there are more layers to Wonder Woman 84 than people initially think when they first see it. Like,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's
I did have my fair share of issues with it. Like I said, I think that the Barbara Diana relationship could have been worked more on. But then again, you girls disagree, so agree to disagree on that. I did feel like the dialogue, especially in the first act, was a little strange. It just didn't flow for me. I don't know why. I was like,
It showed her awkwardness.
yeah, it was
In the
it's
beginning.
just something that
Yeah.
I was missing in there. I was like, this is not, but I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know what it was that was like making me feel that way. It was just strange.
Mhm.
But I love the third act of the movie for sure.
I did like the role reversal with her having to show Steve around instead of him showing her
Oh
around.
yeah, that was cute.
Oh, this is just the garbage can. Okay.
That was adorable.
That's not art.
When he was trying to find the clothes, so that was like, it was like
I love
you know,
that they
when I
had
watched
that
that
one,
That's
scene,
funny.
when
they
I
had
watched
that
that
one
scene, I
outfit
felt
where
like 15-year-old me with my mom. Whenever I would go shopping with her, and I
Well,
would pick
when,
out the outfits, and I would walk out of the changing rooms. That's literally the entire scene was like me and my mom.
the outfit where he's wearing khakis and the scarf that's black and white, that was right in comics, so that was kind of cool.
And it's the same outfit that guy wore at the
Yeah,
end
at the
when we
end.
finally met him, which was cool. It's like a callback.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But every one of his outfits, he had a fanny pack that he was flipping back around. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
You know what? Fanny packs are great. I mean, Comic-Con, if Comic-Con taught me anything, it was that fanny packs are amazing.
Yep.
They're very useful.
And then Linda Carter, I was so happy they used her as Asteria, that they didn't just give her like a meaningless cameo, but they like used her in this way. And now I need to see her like full on in the armor.
Yes. Well, that and the way that they
Yeah.
set her in that story, she can come back in the third one if she needs to. I mean, what if both of them work together to go against the bad guy? I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping that since they said, like, I started to get tired because they were like, oh, we found the armor, but not her. And then when they were like, and then when she showed up, I screamed. I was like, ah! I literally, though, from behind, I thought that was Gal.
yeah, me
I
too.
think that was the intent.
Yeah, I really like how they styled her hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
She looked good in the blue.
Also, her outfit felt like, so it's funny. So in Wonder Woman 1, her blue dress was a tribute to an outfit that Linda wore in the Wonder Woman show. And then in this that blue outfit felt like a tribute to the dress that Gal
That's what I was
wore in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Wonder Woman, we've had an eventful 2 days.
Wait, hang on. One last thing before you switch gears, honey. I just wanted to bring up that I forgot. Like I watched the Wonder Woman show a long time ago, and I forgot the wing, like her signature
She
thing.
did.
And when that person
Oh,
put that together, I was like, that just makes it even more perfect. Like, how can you not love Linda Carter?
It's literally not an
there's
amazing.
no way. There's no way.
All
Yeah.
right, well,
No,
carry on.
she needs her own movie.
She does.
She does. Yeah.
No, but so we've had an eventful 2 days now because Zach released this one image that Cole and I really adore, by the way. In case it wasn't obvious by like 100 posts that we made about it in the last 2 days. But we really, really love that image. He posted the high res version today.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts, ladies?
I love it.
Amazing.
Brutal.
I love it.
Incredible.
Kick butt.
Definitely.
I remember when I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, she's holding heads. This is the perfect thing. And it's like, I mean, it's like, to me, because I mean, she comes from the Greek mythology.
Mhm.
First of all, she's a demigoddess or a goddess, or depends on the interpretation. And she also, is an Amazon warrior. And both of these things, like in its core, you'd expect her to be, a ruthless warrior. And there is part of the comics,
Yeah.
where you can see this side of her come out. Yep.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Nice.
I think my favorite detail, other than the picture itself, was how it's taken. So if you notice here, that is a wet plate glass, and that's a form of photography from that era called the collodion process. And it's basically when the plate that they take the picture is literally wet, and when the picture's taken, it creates a chemical reaction, and it starts to add the picture to the plate glass itself. But the trick of it is that the photographer has to have a mobile darkroom. So literally right there on that field of grass, they're developing the picture. And I love that. Like, Zach could have gone the easy way, even though, because this is just a placeholder, he could have just, taken it and put a filter on it. But he went old school. He hunted down an old camera to do this, and someone who was an expert enough to do it. And I just love that so much.
It's very Zach of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the details.
Like, when you think about the fact that this was a placeholder photo, like it wasn't even
Yeah.
gonna be there. It was a placeholder, and there was just like the whole process to it. But
Like,
it's
he's
just
so
to me-
Easter. And we love it.
I mean, that exactly. That's what That's what makes him great. But I mean, there's so much to unpack in this picture. The diversity. I mean, look at it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
Yeah.
so what my brother was pointing at, who's a history nerd, was saying that he thinks the warrior on the far right is from the Zulu tribe in Africa. But someone on Twitter made a good point that he didn't have the signature Zulu shield, so maybe not. But it was so funny. The white guy, somebody pointed out that he has a kilt, and I felt so freaking stupid because I had missed the kilt completely. I was like, well, I feel dumb now. And then we have a Sikh warrior, a samurai, a Native American, and someone from the Middle Eastern. It's pretty crazy.
Well, the idea is, that she picked them up on her way through wars throughout the world. And I mean, while, obviously in the Wonder Woman that we've gotten in the first movie, we know that she went and wanted to fight Ares. That was her thing. She wanted to chase down Ares. And this kind of follows the same thing. Just the concept of it is different, and it is that she has been on Earth, or like out of Themyscira, for centuries now, and she's been chasing Ares through wars, picking up these warriors as she went. And obviously, she is immortal. She's always, she's forever, and these soldiers are not. So they probably, obviously, they died as they went, and she picked up new ones. And I think that, like, when you look at this picture, you see this again. You see this ruthless warrior holding three heads, which again is absolutely epic. But you also see a woman who probably lost so much that she just became numb to it. And what Zach posted today in his post, he said, she was chasing Ares through the world, and this was, before she found Steve, who taught her how to love again. So we get this version of Wonder Woman on this photo only, obviously, because it never came to be, who didn't have Steve yet, and she was, going through the world alone. And obviously that's going to do some stuff to you, I bet. Like, I can't imagine that kind of life. So seeing that, and obviously there's just so much to see in that photo. Would you girls be interested in seeing the story like this?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would, yeah.
That sounds
would
like
wanna-
an incredible Elseworld story. It's phenomenal. I'd like to see it, of course. Maybe as an animation, who knows? Jay Oliva, are you listening?
Way.
We have a job
Somebody
for
text
you.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like an Elseworld type of.
Yeah, I also
That
think it would have
was-
been a story.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I see the picture. I mean, she's holding the heads of, I don't know, they seem like mortal man. So I don't know if
people who piss them
Diana.
off.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
to
for
me,
sure.
they seem like they are, Russian generals, because Crimean War was essentially Ottoman Empire against Russians. Well, Ottoman Empire and friends, who kind of
Yeah, they
went
lost.
like Ottoman Empire what to do, but still Ottoman
was
Empire. and friends.
Yeah, because they said it was the Ottoman Empire, the United Kingdom, Sardinia, and France, and it was in the mid 1800s versus World War I, where Jenkins had hers. So it's a different, more ruthless kind of war.
Well, the Crimean War was essentially known as like this. It was a conflict where like nobody could get their shit together, to put it mildly. Like they were all over the place. Nobody knew what they were doing. There was so much mess, so many dead for like pointless reasons. It's also the conflict from which we have modern nursing, because Florence Nightingale was a nurse from Britain who went on the front, and she was treating soldiers there. I've actually seen a pretty cool video on this, but yeah, basically she got there onto the front, and she's been facing all these injured soldiers, and they were dying of sepsis because there was absolutely no hygiene on the place. So she brought in all these changes about sterilization and all this kind of stuff, and she turned nursing into this job that was looked down upon into something that it is today. Not on her own, obviously, but she was the spark. And that was during the Crimean War. So Crimean War was a mess. And it wasn't like worldwide massive conflict either. Like World War I was something that shook the entire world. It's something that we all learn about, I dare say. But Crimean War, I don't know how many of you even had it at school. It's because like Crimean War was mostly a power move. Like Britain didn't want Turkey to have access to the sea, basically. So they were to help a weak Ottoman Empire to beat Russia. It was just it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we see, I think that on that photo she's holding the heads of Russian generals. But I would dare say that, like, obviously the script and all that stuff would never existed, so we don't know. Maybe, one of them was Ares. Who knows? Who knows how it would have
Well, I
gone?
think if one of them was Aries, he'd be looking a lot more victorious, and probably would have been holding his head alone. Like, look at this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds more like Adam's Family than Wonder Woman. But okay, let's go.
I think
That's
you're
why I
right.
agree with-
Yeah, she's holding them by it's funny because the heads have helmets on, and they have those wacky pointed helmets.
Yeah, and she's kind of holding all of them by that tassel or by that chain.
They
Yeah.
must have a chin strap that she didn't cut, and that's why the heads are still in the helmet. I
Oh,
like.
definitely. I don't think that these things would stay on even like if the heads were attached to their bodies, if they didn't have a chin strap. Like, I think that those things must have been really heavy, to be honest. No, but yeah, I think that I would love to see that story. I'd love to see Diana going through all these wars and what it made her, because we never met that Diana. But I would also love to see, Bruce finding out about her through this photo, because she tells him, "You've never met a woman like me."
There was someone on there was someone on Twitter who wrote like a little like a dialogue they imagined of Bruce and Diana talking about this, and it felt so real. It was wish I could remember who it was because I forgot to retweet it and now it's lost to the ages. But it was something like you're holding their heads, Diana. They hurt killing women and children, Bruce. I had to protect the people, and it was like it felt like it was something that would literally be said between the two of them. That Bruce would I think he would understand, especially out of everybody. Bruce Wayne would understand, but I feel like he would still take task a little bit just to make sure she's not someone who goes crazy when the blood starts flowing.
Yeah, no, I think that I think that it would be interesting to see, the exchange between them and
Welcome to League of Mayhem, where we would like to see these heads used as handbags.
Yes, I mean,
I'll take 2.
I was actually thinking. It was so funny after last night when I tweeted at Wonder, and I was like, "Well, now you know what you got to do." And she was saying how she's excited to finish her spear now, and I was thinking, okay, now let's think of a way to literally make a handbag out of mannequin heads. Wouldn't that be amazing though? Have Liz looking at her usual bad self, and then her handbag for the convention floor is severed heads.
That would definitely be something.
I'm just imagining the checkup on the San Diego floor when you go and you check up your props. Just imagine, put the spear on there and
then they're like, ma'am. But then again, last time we went to San Diego, I saw someone dressed as Freddy or Jason, one of them, dragging a corpse behind them, and that was his backpack.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
yes, yeah, consolation. I don't know if 3 heads are exactly a consolation prize, Amari, but
yeah,
I'll take it.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting though too, is that people get so frustrated, or they have all these issues with seeing her holding 3 severed heads when she's a warrior, when people can watch the movie Wolverine or Deadpool or and and then all of a sudden it's like her, and they're like, okay, why is she doing that?
It's because she's a woman.
It's because she's a girl. She should be maternal. And there's this whole thing where Wonder Woman has gone through so many evolutions. When she first started out in the comics, she was kind of this standing for justice, and then there was this kinky period she went through, and then there was this period where they made her into a secretary. We don't speak of it,
Yeah.
And then there was a really, really dark period where she started severing heads, and then there was a more Greek period. And it's like she goes through, it's not like there's no precedence for this.
Sorry, this is too good.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's. I think that Tiff has something. Like she has a point because the outrage there is, I mean, obvious. Oh, she can't do that because she's kid friendly and she's a woman and whatnot. Then you show them
Mama Bear instincts came out, and that's why those heads are in her hand.
Yeah, like I
Listen.
feel like every other character, she's not one-sided. She's not one type of way.
She has
she's
depth.
many different types of ways.
Yeah.
No, we will not see the picture. Just to put it out there, we will not see it remastered in BBS. Zach said so today in the comments. He will not do that because it would go against the
It
plot
would.
that was set
Yeah,
in Wonder Woman.
And as he said thousands of times, he changed it because he wanted Patty to have her creative freedom, and he supports Patty and supports her work and wants to preserve her story.
Wasn't it just a placeholder because they didn't have anybody tapped in for Wonder Woman? So yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there was a whole entire idea behind it because it wouldn't be Zach if there wasn't. But it was the first idea that developed when Patty came on, and it changed and it shaped. But we have to remember, Zach wrote the story for Wonder Woman in the World War I. He was still part of the thing. He himself said it. Like, I would not put this in there to contradict the story that Patty had made, which I support, which I made story for. Like, that makes no sense. It just doesn't. So, I mean, it is great picture, and the idea of the story behind it is amazing, and I think it would look great because, like he said, Elseworlds Diana.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really digging that idea that Nash had, that Jay should make it an animated film. Like, I need that. Like, seriously, he could pull off an amazing film.
A Max original?
I think this is important. If everyone's all for wanting Snyder to have creative freedom, then support should be extended to other DC directors who aren't Snyder. Not just other DC directors,
100%.
directors in general. We are not I dare say a lot of people in this movement join it because of charity work and artistic integrity, like fight for artistic integrity. All artists, not just directors, all artists should have the option to, visualize their vision.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be just Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that you can't criticize, debate. You can't say something was wrong and this is why you don't like it. The difference is you're not going out there sending hate mail and tweeting at like the directors saying they should go kill themselves because you didn't like their film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't have to like everything. Just respect the fact that, and you don't have to see everything being a literal attack against Zack. There's so many people who see any film that slightly diverts from the Snyder formula as an attack on Zack. But this is why we love DC, isn't it? Where it's not a formula. It's not something where we can predict every single film. You can almost predict a Marvel film to the letter because they follow a formula. And that's neither here nor there, but that's a lot of reasons why DC fans are not big fans of Marvel films, because they don't like that. And by demanding that they all follow the same tone or follow like sort of like implication blends in this perfect way is just kind of like demanding them to be just like Marvel when you just got done saying why you don't like it. We like respect the creator. You don't have to like it. Like Nana and I hate Thor Ragnarok, but we don't go writing hate mail to Taika Waititi telling him he's an idiot.
Exactly.
Like that was the only time I was close, though. I'm sorry, that was the only time I was close to actually doing that, but I digress.
Tiff?
Yes.
Where's Darth and the other guy? I only see Superman behind you.
Oh, he was actually working on getting some lights to go on his shuttle, so he had to kind of take all of the guys out for a little bit just to get some space in here. But once he has everything organized in the way he wants it, he'll be able to put like the permanent fixtures in. So you can see a little bit more.
I always get I get anxious when I see changes in that room because I never know it's just gonna leap out of somewhere.
I see BB-8 though.
Yes, that's an actual. It opens up and you can actually there's the figurines, the 3 3/4 inch figurines can go inside there.
Ooh.
So I think when it opens up, you can actually it's like Snoke's throne room or something like that. So. And then he does have an R2 that does the little thing where he dances and he makes the noises and.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all for those kind of toys because I got Babu Frick for Christmas, and so I've been like freaking the dogs out because I'm just like pushing it constantly so you can hear it. Or I have a Loth cat, same thing, it makes noises, so the dogs are looking at me.
Too.
I love them.
Check my DMs. What I do? Oh, he found it. Thank you.
I agree with that.
Max is always saving my Tookus in these live streams.
It's the good and bad of live streams. If you forget something, someone will always be able to look it up or at least come back with it and tell you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, hang on, Nana. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. I'm trying to learn.
And what are you doing right now?
I think I can. I think I can.
Oh my god. We're in something now.
Okay, that's weird.
What did you do now?
I did nothing.
Well, clearly, because we can't see it. Do you want me to do it? Whatever.
No, I can do it.
I thought it was interesting when it came to the picture that we saw, just because I know comicbook.com, Snyder even said that he liked that that picture took place during the Crimean War because that was the first conflict where photography was used. And you can kind of tell that the way that those sepia tones were, the way that she has like no expression, just like that era back then.
Well, I noticed, and a few people noticed it too, because obviously we posted one picture yesterday with very kind permission from Zach to do so. And he posted one today, which was like the full frame HD thing. But if you look, don't know if you can see it, but if you look, because I don't think I can zoom it. In this one, when you look at her and then you compare it to this one, she has a little different expression.
I noticed the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her face is more down in the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it this one?
In this one, it feels a little more menacing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's like darker. It's her look is more, more. I don't know how to put it yet. But this one is like a little less scary. So
a little more serious and not more so serious.
I wouldn't say serious because like when I look at this one, I feel a little more like she's gonna kill me too.
It's more hard.
Yeah.
In this one, I'm like, okay, she's done. She went through the bloodbath and I may survive. So yeah. Did Cole just kick herself out?
She did.
She did. Oh, there she is.
Yep. Leave it to me. Here's a way to mess this up. I will.
Oh my god.
But I know what I'm doing now. Finally.
Yay.
Do I even want to know how this whole came about? Like, how did you disappear?
Well, I didn't see the fine print that it says to give permission to to share your screen. It'll quit your browser.
Oh no.
So it suddenly shut off, and I was like, "Wait a second! I didn't mean to do that."
Oh right, because Mac wants you to give permission first. I forgot.
Which is kind of them, but still, it was like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Can I add
So
something?
did you do it? We're waiting.
Yes.
Can I add something while we're waiting?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, about the Zach thing and how fans love Zach and they want Zach to do everything. Sure, I am a fan of Zach, obviously, but I feel like when he has his like little universe and little ideas, they're just ideas and they should be able to blossom and grow, and he doesn't always have to direct them. Like, he's totally down for anybody to take control and have it be their own, which is why we have other directors in the universe besides Zach, and I am a fan of all of their movies. And yeah, I wanted to mention that.
You know,
So-
having various directors gives you an opportunity to have various movies with various stories, and I think that's, you know, really cool.
This was the little dialogue I was talking about. Absolutely love it.
You finally found it.
Oh, I love
Oh.
it.
You've murdered them, Diana. They were killing innocent children, Bruce. I was protecting them. Yet you carry their heads like trophies. No, a warning.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's big butt.
That's on point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that like
That's great.
that's what a lot of people missed, you know.
Yeah.
Hi, Fatma.
Thanks,
Hi.
Fatma.
That, and then the one word that explains it all, placeholder.
Exactly.
That's what that picture was. So you can't have outrage when it was something that didn't come to fruition.
Mhm.
I mean, you know what? Like, I completely understand that. Like, some people would love to see it, and I mean, I would love to see it. I would.
Yeah.
I can't voice how much love I have for that picture.
Mhm.
I really can't. But hi, Jessica. Aw, I hope you get a good rest,
Mhm.
and we'll see you soon.
Oh,
Sleep is important.
El Mego is here.
Who is here? Oh my
What
gosh.
up?
She's arrived.
Hey.
Lego joins us.
Yeah, I was trying to mess with my webcam because I've noticed on streams it lags a lot, but I
Mhm.
think I completely fucking broke it. So
Oh no.
Oh no.
So we're
Okay.
just gonna be looking at your pretty face on your picture.
what's going on, guys?
Oh, nothing
chatting.
much. We're just talking about how cool it is to see Wonder Woman holding severed heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just the topic that you want for Tuesday evening.
Oh yeah, just
Totally.
casual beheadings, no big deal.
No, but I was telling the girls like how much we love the picture and all that stuff. And I mean, we were convincing Zach to actually show the picture to Meg when we were talking to him the other day, and then we spent like 20 minutes just taking it apart. So yeah, we really do like that picture.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even put into words like how beautiful, like she just looks so like stoic and badass and just like, hey, what's up, Joey? And what's up, Jason? What's up, Max?
Just get the hellos
It
out of the way.
also looks so much bigger than you can see in the Faruqi's stream,
Oh yeah.
because he has like this like wall devoted to it,
Mhm.
and then on the other side he's got like weapons and stuff from when he does drawing and whatever.
Storyboard blocks.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I ever got a chance to visit his office, he'd find a few things missing.
I just need a couple of days to just look around because there's so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
What's
sure.
in your bag, Cole? That's a sword, but don't look at it. It's not your sword, it's my sword.
It's a severed head purse.
It's my sword now. No, but like, you know, maybe next time Zach is on, we just ask him to give us a tour of his office.
There you go.
A room tour, just the usual.
just a casual thing.
Oh, no big deal.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
but-
this over here and that over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you pause a second? We just need to have a good look at this one.
Imagine if Zach was like a YouTuber and like, you know how they do like new house tour or something like that.
Mhm.
If he did like an office tour, that would be actually really cool.
That would be awesome.
Yes, the Fruki Bros interview was
Mhm.
amazing. I'm so glad that they were able to sit down and
talk to him.
Yeah, I was so excited for it too when they announced it. I was like, oh my god, we're getting the goodies.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
You know, but can we talk about how awesome it is that Zach does this? Like that he just
So
spends
awesome.
the time with his fans. Because
He's the best.
I mean, obviously, we here have been blessed because he's been on like 3 times now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just realized that I actually last time that I was talking to Tiff and I was lying to her about Zach not coming on. I wasn't even lying. It was like it's only gonna be just regulars, and it's like Zach has been on so many times. It could be as well.
Right.
Yeah, Zach's almost killer.
That's something that they brought up though, because the Nerd Queens showed up on comicbook.com with this story and the picture that he showed.
Yeah.
And it was just saying that, you know, how great it is that you have a director like this that's so well known. And he's coming on YouTube channels and he's, you know, showing that not only can he do these huge projects, but yet still come down to like the people and just make everybody feel included.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. He's like holding in the doorway, like, no, I'm not leaving.
I'll just be outside. I'll wait for you guys. I'll even look out. I won't even step
I'll
inside
see you in the
house.
car.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for my friends, guys. It's all good.
So how are we feeling about DSJL merch? Oh, I can't tell you how I'm feeling about that.
I'm
not
so excited that I already ordered McFarlane toys of other like characters just because I was so happy to see that they're actually doing like new toys instead of like, you know, like re-releasing, let's say, like Pops or something. Like they're actually making new toys.
If they have Pops, I'm definitely gonna get.
The thing with Pops is that they usually get leaked or like they announce them way before.
They have like a list that you can actually. I would have to look, but they have like lists that you can go and look.
So they'll like announce them like months before and like post pictures.
Welcome to our life, Fatma, by the way. This is essentially what I genuinely like. If I showed you my bank, because you can like do like little pots where you do certain savings. Mm-hmm. So there is one that's called specifically San Diego Comic-Con, and then there's one that's literally just for exclusives.
Yeah.
And I call it exclusives because my biggest hunts are generally for exclusives. So.
But if we do get Pops, I feel like it's gonna be like a crazy surprise because like of course I want them so much, but nothing has been said about them, and usually Pops get announced like months before they actually come out.
You know, I kind of feel like they may be saving that for San Diego though.
I mean, but that's still not that far away.
It is not, but I think that right now, if you looked at those lists, they probably have like Emerald City and maybe WonderCon, and they're waiting.
I think they'll do a few. I think they're gonna do what they usually do, which will be a general release. If they do have Funkos, general release when the thing comes out, like they do with every movie. And then they'll have maybe one or exclusives at the various cons coming up. But that's saying if the cons will happen at this time. America's basically like the Surgeon General's basically saying, don't count on anything. You're getting nothing at the moment.
Yeah, but you know they still do the limited releases. So.
Actually, that was because they already produced everything. If they haven't produced the stuff, we might not get it the same way we did this year. That's a big thing that's being discussed.
And I think we also have to take into account that it's HBO, like it's the HBO Max thing, and I haven't seen anything really regarding HBO Max like toys or anything. So this is like one of the first properties that they're having toys of. So licensing might be a little weird.
Yeah. Maybe that could be, but I think it's also maybe they're waiting for what it's gonna do. Because obviously, when you usually when you have a big movie release, you do have the Funkos. You can dig them up before the actual movie. Like there have been cases where toys, not just Funkos, but general collectibles, actually spoiled certain plot lines because people dug up
Lego.
holes for toys to be released.
Lego always spoils shit. I don't know who does the marketing for their freaking boxes or whatever, but every time Lego gets an exclusive deal for a comic book movie, they spoil something.
Mhm.
Something.
Yeah, so-
or for example, when they make like a million Zuvio figures for Star Wars, and then Zuvio never shows up in the movie, but yet they have a ton of those toys.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like because obviously the whole entire thing is so different and unprecedented, not just because of a streaming service and all that stuff, but also in general, Zack Snyder's Justice League is just very different to the rest of the movies. It may just be that we will get the toys announced, and even like the idea for them will come after. Like if, which we have to make sure it does. If Zack Snyder's Justice League takes the world by a storm and people love it and they want more of it and not, they're gonna make toys of it because they want to make money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
So we all want Funkos. So you guys gotta help us. We all gotta watch
My
Zack
father
Snyder's
is.
Justice League. It's for the collector purposes.
Hashtag release the Snyder merch.
Honestly, one of my favorite things that when comic book movies come out is the fashion lines that come out with them. Like I'm dying. I really hope someone's planning something. Like I would love to see.
I need more shirts.
I would love to see 1 or 2 new pieces, especially like dresses and what have you.
Ooh, yes.
That would be dope.
Sorry, Lego's good. I think Lego is doing that every year.
Yeah.
It's like that's like a thing that Lego does. I hope they make High Republic action figures.
By the way, I didn't realize that today. I feel like a bad Star Wars fan. I didn't know that the first Republic book came out today, so I kind of just low key bought it on Kindle. I'm excited.
So you heard it first. Cole is waiting. Cole can't wait to get off the stream so she can go read.
There you go. Nah. Joey, you know what you should do? You should seriously go on eBay and just look up movie theater cups. You'll find the best cups from DC. Like,
you know what? I
many
think
people
we should
collect.
speak to Todd.
Yeah.
I want a whole set of Zack Snyder's Justice League shot glasses. I'm not even joking. I need it right now. Like now that we're talking about it.
Like a shot, one per logo.
Ooh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
That would be
Cool.
Just be careful what you fill it with.
Water. I'm gonna drink water.
Well, that's one of us. Anyway. No, I it would be really nice for my collection. Just saying,
Hell yeah. Anything with that logo on it, I'm buying. So it doesn't matter what it is.
I know. It's like you can plaster that logo on anything, I'll buy it. I just want
So did you ladies see
oh my
the
god, I really need steelbook of it.
Yeah. Do you guys see the Walter Hamada news?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you talked about it yet?
We did for a second, and we all kind of died inside.
Yeah, I'm a little I'm not gonna lie, a little sad. Depressed.
I'm really hoping it's just a case of bullshit.
Yeah.
Because
I find it I would find it really strange that
the
we
last few days have been
hear rumors
so
about
weird.
Cyborg being recast, and then this. It feels off to me.
Yeah, all I gotta say is fuck that guy.
Oh yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm just trending on Twitter.
What?
Yeah, that's the second day in a row.
Oh yeah.
Zach is trying 23 casually.
Casually. No, but
This
I think
one
that like
particular. Go on, honey.
no, I think that the whole Hamada situation, it's just odd to me because we've had Grace come out today with the whole Cyborg is being recast news, which was debunked later on, and then now there's this whole thing with Hamada extending his contract. I don't know. It's weird. And as far as like Ray's situation goes, I don't know. These things are never coincidence.
It seems like they do that every time when Ray is either about to say something or has said something. So they probably are trying to like prevent him from saying something.
Yeah,
or
I
like
think they
try to
might have an
overshadow
idea
what he says.
Like, I feel like they have a feeling like that he might have something to say soon or whatever. And then they decided to say that anyway. With that, Mo, we love you. Sorry, I
Yeah,
saw
no,
the chat.
He's also probably waiting for Wonder Woman to kind of not steal any thunder, regarding that. Just kind of like letting that go past. I know it's been open already for a couple weeks, but
Yeah,
I
like
think I'm gonna be
waiting
waiting to see because the news just broke out. I think that it might be wise to wait and see just what happens as like the days go by because I don't know. It's just like in the past few months, when has these kind of news ever been just black and white?
sure.
But that's just me. I don't know what your stance on the situation is.
Joey has a good point. He says all these articles seem to come out in the afternoon/evenings after Zach has done something great in the mornings. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the timing is
I
suspicious.
see.
Suspicious.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's
Also,
not.
like considering the source, like for the whole cyborg being recast, the Assassin woman, put it out when you have actual factual stuff. Like, girl, we trying to support you because women supporting women, but you're also stuff out of your butt.
Well, the thing here is, and I like I have my fair share of issues with how Grace conducts her business, but here my thing here is obviously she has some sort of a source. So my question is, was this deliberate and not on her part, but on the source's part?
Probably.
I don't know. Just
That's
all
not
this
actually, honestly, if her source knows that whatever they say that sounds even slightly a tiny bit true, she's gonna jump the gun and report it immediately and get it out there. Then her source could very, very well be the one manipulating her. Like, oh well, and she probably either has too much faith in the source as a human being, which I can understand, or she's just trying to stay ahead of the game, which is again another thing reporters do. But like honestly, now that you say it, it's like the source could be the one who's sketchy AF, who's trying the narrative where it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, my personal stance towards Grace is very, like, I mean, I love her interviews with Zach. I think they're great, but as far as like her scooping abilities, I am always like, what the heck, dude? But I feel like a lot of this is she has sources, and the sources can be shit too.
Yeah, the source is probably using her.
Yeah,
but like
that's why I don't like scooping.
I'm very against scooping at all. Like, if you have a source came to, like, sometimes even once in a while, like someone's came to us and been like, this is what they heard from so and so, and we're not going to be tweeting about that because it's not verified at all. Like, if it came from Zach and he said, hey, we can talk about this, then it's like one thing, but it's like when you heard from a guy who heard from a guy who heard from a guy's cousin, who works as the janitor, and it's like it gets when it gets ridiculous, and you can't really put credence into it. I don't see how that can be considered journalism.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also the part where I think that as a movement, as a group, we've kind of learned our lesson as far as this goes, in sense of I mean, we just spent 3 years fighting for a movie and being told by sources that it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So at this
look where
point,
we
you're
are.
kind of like, yeah, the only source I believe is like Zach directly. So if Zach says it, or if people I know are directly connected to him say it, then that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, there might be something to it. But other than that, it's just, I feel like a lot of times, obviously, these people who make their living out of doing these scoops, they do it. I mean, it does, it brings them subscribers, it brings them it brings them money, and I respect it. I respect the hassle, but in the same time, they are vulnerable to be used for, this kind of stuff where studios need to get something out there, even if it's a hoax or even if it's, a whole pile of bullshit. That's my point of view on it.
There's always those people that want to be the first one to break it. But
Right.
Yeah,
and
I mean, that's what they build it on,
And that's what separates journalists like the Farooqis, who they don't scoop and they only report once they have verified information and they do the research. And people who just want to get that headline out there so that way, if they're the first one that says it correctly, then woohoo, they get kudos, but then they can delete it if they weren't.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's
And
also
that's
the
one thing too. I think we need to focus on one thing. Things can change. I mean, what is happening today or what isn't happening today can change in a minute. I mean, the movie's coming out in March, and we can make this as a biggest bomb at HBO Max, and we can change things. If there is a project they can think of, we can make it happen. We need to put our money where our heart is. So it's simple. As far as we have a job to do. I think.
It's interesting though. I'm only seeing Variety reporting on the Hamada thing. So that even like I've literally been scrolling through Twitter and seeing no other big places writing about it. So that's actually adds to the suspicion about like what's the idea with what you playing at, homie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let it play out. Let's see what
Can still keep saying he's got to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he totally has to go. Like, that's not even a question. I think. Like, Hamada's gonna go. No, but I like this point. How blogs don't want to be correct; they just want to be first.
Yeah.
Speaking of like this whole media thing, there was this. I don't have the clip to pull up right now, but I liked what Kevin Smith said earlier in the week. Like not earlier in the week because it's early in the week. Last week, he was saying, they were discussing the whole Snyder Cut being a cul-de-sac issue, which is a whole another media issue, and again stemming from Hamada, an article that came out of bloody nowhere, if you ask me. And made no sense. So he says, that thing didn't even come out yet. We don't even know how successful it's going to be and all that stuff. Why say it's a cul-de-sac? It's so counterproductive for you as a studio to say that this is a cul-de-sac if you don't know how successful it's going to be. And I think that that's a really good way to look at it, and just shows how little sense this whole thing makes. It's also like, this whole thing was connected to an article about Warner Brothers when really it's Warner Media who has the control over what happens with the Snyder Cut right now. So what are your thoughts on this, girls?
I feel they shouldn't prejudge. They should definitely wait.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
I agree with what Kevin Smith said. It's like, why even say that? Like, what's the point other than just to like prematurely put your foot in your mouth type thing, because when it comes out, it's going to be successful. Obviously, we've already proven that. But yeah, I feel like he's just definitely putting his foot in his mouth right now, saying, "Oh, it's a cul-de-sac. Oh, it's a road that leads nowhere." Well, we'll see in March.
Exactly.
He sounds desperate. Show me
Yes.
It's like, he said that, and the next day, the famous cul-de-sac was trending at 200,000 tweets. So
Yeah, like literally any time it's mentioned, or like a picture is dropped, or like Zach mentions something on a live stream, it's like it blows up.
It always goes viral.
It
no matter
always
what.
blows. Like
Always.
today, he's literally trending for posting like more context to the picture that you guys posted yesterday.
Yes,
and he's been trending yesterday too.
Before he was trending.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, you can call it a cul-de-sac all you want, but you're
We got
wrong.
the fans to prove
We
it.
will see.
Yeah.
So,
It's like you got so many people out there, wanting a movie from a photo that was a placeholder and never had any script to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, how can you say this is a cul-de-sac when there's clearly a dedicated fan base willing to make a separate bank accounts for the toys? Like,
Yeah, I mean, like I was talking on World's Finest on Sunday about how like Wonder Woman 84 seemed like a movie that like really didn't do much for the universe, like the extended universe, and how I feel like it really, like, it was a fun movie, but like it didn't really have to be made. That's a cul-de-sac. Not like Zack Snyder's Justice League could set up for so much more. Like, you can't have these characters and then like that's it. You're not going to see them again. Like introducing characters like Martian Manhunter, like I mean, obviously he was in Man of Steel, but like at the time we didn't know that. But like, I don't know. I feel like these comments are just so like
unnecessary.
Yes, unnecessary. Like you don't have to. You're making yourself look like an ass.
We should just give them their clown makeup
show
right
that
now.
this is more personal than just the business.
Well, that's the other thing though too, is I mean, when we saw the Justice League that we got, it was what was available. It's not like we're going to be going to the theater or watching it at home and going to see this to be like rewatching something. This is a whole new story because Zach actually gets his vision, his side, his whole thing, and that's where people, they can say all they want about it, but it's going to be a completely different like monster, which is awesome, and that's why everyone's going to want to see it.
Yeah, right. No amount of Walter Hamada dumbass comments are going to make us not excited for it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sorry, but if anything, every time he opens his mouth, I just get more excited.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll show you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know what? For every comment he makes, I'm going to buy the Google Play Store. So, fuck you, Walter Hamada.
Yes.
And
keep talking.
I agree. And Sophie has a hashtag. I've been saying that. The kids keep laughing at me because I keep saying what's come out for you.
I feel like that's my father. Sophie, are you my dad? I feel like that's something my father would seriously say.
Hi, Sabrina.
What's up, Sabrina?
Hey.
Nobody freaking remember.
Yeah, I mean, we remember it. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
it's a fever dream at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Just
it haunts our nightmares.
It hurts.
The only reason we were excited
don't necessarily need to be remembered, but yet we remember it because it's so cringy.
Yeah.
But the only reason that we were excited for it
on the movie, like there's moments that you like. I know that we watch it on like sometimes Discord. We just look at the movie and we laugh.
Ugh,
yeah, we always laugh. Like, who thought of this? Why was this line there? Why did they have to do this? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it's just the only reason we were excited for that was because that's all that was available to us at the time.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And because we trusted the studio, we trusted everybody involved. We trusted Whedon. Ew.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing I
Hold
regret
on.
in life.
What did you say?
I don't know. I think she said she had to go for a second. She'd be
No,
right back.
I'll be right back. I just need to grab a charger because I forgot it and my laptop's gonna die.
Oh, okay.
Run, Nana, run!
Yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna run, but I'll be right back.
Okay.
Walk swiftly.
girls, I need to go.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I need to be awake in a few hours, and I don't
Oh.
want to invite my migraine to come for a visit.
Bye, Nash. I love
Bye,
you.
Nash. Thank
All
you.
right.
for coming.
Nana.
Ricky Flores said Justice League is a cul-de-sac in a bad neighborhood that no one wants to go to. True.
Yeah, it's probably in one of those neighborhoods where you get your porch stolen.
Yeah, Justice League is like that kid in school that always had like sticky candy covered fingers, you know? Just
Yeah.
gross.
Oh God.
Always had snot coming out of his nose.
You're reminding me of memories that I don't want to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking them, everyone else has to.
Thank you for ruining.
Louis says, I'm sure nobody will remember Justice League after Zack Snyder's Justice League, except maybe when they compare the two of them and wonder, what the fuck, Warner Brothers? Yeah, that's true.
That is gonna be fun. It'll be really fun, like after watching it for like pleasure, and then to like break it down,
apart.
and then if you feel like a masochist, comparing the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I really love those GIFs that Fran has done where he shows the comparing the
The
scene
original
from
to
Justice
the new one.
to
Yeah. What was replacing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like even just like the differences, like when you had that scene with was it the Flash falling on top of Gal Gadot's chest, and it's like the difference in just, you know, when the actress herself doesn't want to do that scene, and even her stunt double doesn't want to, but doesn't have the clout to say, yeah, I don't want to do that scene, but has to.
Well, if something I like to remind people when that topic comes up, this Ezra and Gal did not know that was in the film. After they said no, we're not doing it, they used the body doubles, not even the stunt doubles. They used the people they use for lighting and whatnot to film that, and then they found out at the premiere.
Max, you better shut the hell up. He says, I'm so ready for the Justice League is better than Zack Snyder Justice League hot takes. Get out.
They're gonna come.
They're all gonna look
be
like
so
clouds
annoying.
anyways.
I know,
Just
it's gonna
let
be
them
so
be the
annoying.
clowns. We're gonna be over
Can I
here.
block him
enjoying
from
the
here? Yes. What? You lost your job as my assistant. You're not hired anymore.
No, it's gonna be I feel like even more glaringly obvious that Justice League was literally like a sabotage.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yay!
I feel like the rest of the internet is gonna be like, holy crap, how did we not know? And then the fandom's gonna like, we been new, bitches.
Hello.
Yeah. I'm so ready for it. I can't wait for March. I'm just waiting for him to announce the release date so I can put in like a whole week off of work because I'm gonna watch it so fucking much.
It's funny, Jacob from in the chat, Jacob Torres. He sent us a little doodle of a cul-de-sac with each house labeled as different, like Snyder Cut, JL2, JL3, etc. You know, honestly, I think it's because I live in a cul-de-sac. That was the thought I had at first too.
Yeah.
Like, wait, this is limiting. There's a lot of shit you can fit in a tiny ass cul-de-sac.
Well, and like a cul-de-sac isn't a dead end, you know. A cul-de-sac is like revolving.
You go around.
Exactly. Because there's many different houses.
Like I have to look at someone's post on Twitter to understand that he was trying to be insulting. I was like, man, growing up in this spot has really changed how I look at that. But then
it's the release date for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes. Oh, I'm so ready for it.
Yes.
Oh
I
my
feel like
God.
then it's really
like-
gonna feel like 100% real.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have no idea, but I kind of think Zach knows, and that's why he's kind of like, he was like, okay, you guys can post your interview with me to Comic Book Debate, like, on this day. Like, he's just so excited. He wants to be able to say it, but he knows he can't. So he's kind of like, kind of like giving like a little Easter, like a little like snack. Here's
Yeah.
a little snack to tide you over before the meal.
But it's
Omari,
exciting. It's exciting to
sorry.
see the director though see that same excitement where that's
Yeah.
what makes us excited.
Definitely.
Amari says something that I also kind of agreed with. He said, I wish it was still episodic, at least on HBO Max. That week-to-week engagement has done wonders for The Mandalorian. I agree. When they said that, when Zach said it would be like a 4-part miniseries, I was hyped because 4 weeks in a row of like new content.
Right.
Yeah.
And also,
But
like,
it's whatever he wants to do, obviously. But I think the episodes, I was so excited for that shit because I'm like a binge watcher. Who isn't? So I was still ready to watch them like all in a row. So
well, like also the idea of like having a week in between each episodes to break it down to see like
Have
to
a
get
breather.
down to every single detail.
because you're gonna be watching it and you're gonna be like, holy fuck, this is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I know for a fact I'm probably gonna hop on Twitter and be like, wait, I didn't see that, gotta go back.
Yeah. Which is the nice thing about having it on HBO Max, and this is like the nice thing about Wonder Woman 84 is that you can pause it and go back instantly. So if you're like, oh well, this doesn't make sense, let me go back a little bit to see what I missed. That's great because
Girls, I hope you know that when it comes out, we're gonna totally do a League of Mayhem special, which is gonna last forever because we're gonna have to break it all down.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, that's what I liked about it being on HBO Max is we wanted to see the first time in the theater, and we had the luxury of having theaters open in our area.
yeah, I know it
So-
opened that week, right?
A couple days before. And so it was so nice to be able to experience it, and then, like you said, go back that same even night or weekend and just be like, okay. But then being able to watch it numerous times during that weekend, it was like, okay, I saw this differently each different time I saw it. So I like it, but I also don't want to give up the theater either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it popped up on Google Play Movies in Europe because, to me, I have HBO Max, but I know that obviously that's not something that everybody can do. And I, my the whole luck on the whole streaming service issue is because I have VPN and I have Kohl. So, or better yet, I have Kohl's address. I don't even eat Kohl. I just have her address. But it works too. But I know that not everybody has it. So it's, knowing that it's going to be somewhere where people can get it and see it is great because, that way it's also good for us in the sense that we can then break it down sooner rather than later. Because there is one part where we're now anticipating the movie, but then we will watch the movie about 20 times. And then there is the part where you want to talk about it. And, you will want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
Honestly, I hope everyone tries to watch at the same time. Because if you don't think I won't be tweeting watching it, you guys are on drugs. I am giving you a heads up. If you don't want to, just unfollow the Nerd Queens that week, okay? Until you can watch it. I shouldn't say that because we always, our follower count is so weird. But unfollow us if you
our count drop by half before we get off the stream now.
Or just don't pay attention for that week if you don't want to get spoiled.
Ignore Twitter. I'm just gonna be on Twitter.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
I mean,
Yeah, mute me.
I might stay up until because so the way that they do it in America at least is because all these streaming services are based out in California. So when they say they're releasing at night for East Coast, that's 3 a.m. So, but then again, HBO Max did it at noon the day of. They might do. It might be another case of doing it at noon. which would be nice to get some sleep. But then again, at the same time, not
You know, the
sleeping.
way I
'cause-
see it, and I said this, I'm gonna cry through the first watch.
Yeah.
So like, there is absolutely no way I could like live tweet my first watch of it. But I suck at this whole live tweeting thing. Whenever I watch something for the first time or stuff like that, it's just like I am. It's funny because Cole is the kind of person who likes to document everything. While I am just the kind of person who is always like, well, I'm going to document it. And then I get there. And whether it's like concerts or first watch of movies and all that stuff. And then I get there and I'm like, you know what? Screw that. I'm just going to enjoy myself. So
That's how me and my husband are. Enosh wants to document everything, which is great. And I love that. But there's times that I'm just like, let me just take it in first. And then we can document.
Yeah.
I'm a little. I can sometimes I go back and forth, but honestly, not to get morbid, but after my mom passed away, it became like I realized why I like to document everything, because then I was able to go back and look at pictures just where I could see her hands, because she hated pictures being taken, or like her the back of her head or something, and that like meant a lot. And I realized psychologically, I think I'm worried about forgetting things and like missing out.
Makes sense.
So I like to document. I love live tweeting. Live tweeting, something I discovered when Gotham first came out. I started doing it on my
Russia, if you don't have it on Google Play, I think they will roll it out as they go. So
yeah, they've been slowly rolling it out by service. It showed up on like one service, and then it was like in one continent, and then it slowly started moving. I think you just got to be patient. We got a few months. If it's March, then we panic. Yeah. No panicking till March. Then we panic, and then we make a lot of noise, and we fill their Twitters with lots of angry messages.
Yeah.
But live tweeting's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to also like be able to discuss things on throughout the show and everything. But I don't know. I really don't know how my first watch is going to be. I know I know that when I watch it, I'm going to be turning it and restarting it. Yeah. Like if I've got time to watch again right after. Hopefully with talking to Nana, because she likes to occasionally watch things alone, and I hate that because then she tries.
Yeah, I'm totally watching it alone on the first time. I'm sorry, but I do.
I feel you.
I just don't want to tape the first time because you probably don't want a video of me like ugly crying.
Oh, same.
Yeah, no, it's just like the first time. It's just not like there's not gonna be like I will need to see it the second time to actually know what happened, because the first time is just gonna be like really emotional.
Yeah.
4 hour.
I know for a fact I'm just gonna be crying the entire time, so I'm definitely gonna be rewatching it so I know what I missed.
Yeah.
I have no I broke down sobbing when I watched the trailer, and I did not expect that at all. I did not. When I went in to make that reaction video, I was not planning to cry. I didn't think I was gonna. I don't usually do that. I don't usually get emotional and cry. I started crying, and I was like, "Well, this is happening."
Yeah, I don't know why they don't allow pre-order, but
think
again, maybe they will roll it out.
Yeah, I think closer to it, they're gonna turn on pre-orders. I think right now the way to show interest is to add it to your wish list. A lot of services that have it, will let you add it to your wish list.
Yeah, that's what I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why they don't let you pre-order. Because like if I was allowed to pre-order you back, like give me anything on pre-order for this, and it's gonna be like I genuinely do hope that we get those steelbooks.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. I mean,
side note: sometimes people on Vero will like something, and I'll get a notification that says so and so liked it, and they have a really concerning username, and I'm like, why is the guy who killed Batman's parents liking one of our posts?
What?
Yo, dude, the other day I had a guy follow me, and his profile picture was his dick.
Oh,
and I was just like, yo, why do they let that shit on there?
Yikes!
Like,
I love Vero, but it can be so weird sometimes.
Yes.
It's just a bunch of Zack Snyder fans and then like sugar babies.
You know, it's so commonly we get like connect requests from these people who then you look at them and it's like, oh, I am a life coach. I will teach you how to be successful in life, or I will teach you how to
Yeah.
mine Bitcoin. It's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes it's like Satan. It's like, hi.
Yeah.
Actually, once I saw it, it said, oh, I think he's watching right now because he just, but Matches Malone just liked another post. I see you. I'll send Batman your way the moment I have your address.
Okay, that's creepy.
Wait, Meg, just followed you.
Meg. Oh, Max is so funny.
You doing her dirty.
You know, we should just like one day we should just invite Max on the show.
There you go.
Max, do you have a pink onesie though?
He was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, on Wonder Friends, I really found out how. Like, I always knew Max was funny, but like, he is absolutely hilarious. So, Max, shout out to you.
Heck yeah.
And he's an amazing artist as well.
Mhm.
Yes. Speaking of his artistry, he is doing something really special for us, which we will eventually reveal when it's done. But you guys are gonna like it. It's gonna be really cool. But yeah, so shout out to Max.
His art for Deck the Hall of Justice is like it's obviously my favorite because it was on World's Finest, but it has Debbie Snyder as the fucking president.
Nice.
Love that.
Shaking Superman's hand with the Justice League beside her.
That's cool.
And I don't think I won it. Oh, I think someone outbidded me, so
Yeah.
Aw.
very upset.
Well, then you'll have to go and bid again. You have until now.
Mama's a little broke.
Story of my life.
Speaking of, where did you pre-order those toys, Meg?
I didn't. They're not for pre-order yet.
Okay.
The ones I ordered were from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
This is why Meg
but-
is broke, though. You know.
Yes. No, but I the McFarlane toys, and well, they didn't announce it was leaked that they're making Justice League toys. And usually toy leaks are like usually true. So like,
Yeah.
and McFarlane toys, they're like really nice. I don't know if you guys have any.
Oh yeah. Fun.
They're super detailed.
Bye.
And Borg online actually was the one that sent me the pictures of them, of the listing. So if they turn out to be fake, everyone can go at him with pitchforks.
I actually never realized that was McFarlane's work.
Yep.
Sabrina, the bidding is live and it is on at the Nerd Queens on Twitter. It's our pinned post. There is an instruction there and also like the list of artworks that you can bid on. So go ahead there and you can participate and bid and get yourself some really cool art. There is one thing that I didn't mention when we started, and I was mentioning the auction. We, because of the pandemic and how complicated things are with getting prints and stuff, the artists will send the winning bidders the highest resolution of the artwork and all that stuff. If they have some special cool stuff on the side, they will send that too. If you are winning bidder with over $100, that's when you get a print. Then we'll like get you, sort of. So it's a little, it's a little unconventional in that sense, but due to pandemic and the complications that we're facing, this is the best option that we could have done. But yeah, if you want to have a print, you have to bid $100 and more, just to let you know. Mm-hmm. But all of it goes to a good cause. All of it goes to Autumn Snyder Tribute Fund. So whatever you send, bid, it's gonna go straight there. So it's not like we're taking anything off of
Well, if I ever get my fucking stimulus money.
The highest bidding is going for Sylvia's piece that she made. That was
Yes.
that was the one with Zach on it.
Yeah,
14
Sylvia
is
has
so
two
good.
pieces. Sylvia has two pieces in there, number 6 and number 13, which are super, super cool. I mean, all of these are amazing. Max's is, I believe, what is it? I can't see. It's too small. 10?
That's 5 and 10.
Yeah, right. 5 and 10, yeah.
And 5 is awesome. It's a Deathstroke versus Batman
That's awesome.
movie poster.
Again, if you guys go on our Twitter page, you can kind of zoom in on these, and I mean they are small on that sheet, but if you do want to see them closer, like a bit more up close, feel free to DM us. We do have versions that we can show you up close. They're not like the highest res, but they are, just so you can see what's on them and if you like them. So
I want to know where we can get that picture of Diana holding those severed heads, because that is kick butt.
I'm a
Oh my god. I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Zach uploaded
so
that
long.
one on Twitter. He uploaded it in 4K.
Yes.
So
It's
if you download it from there, you can download it in 4K, which should allow you to get a solid print out of
Put
it.
that in like an 8x10 in the house with a nice, cool sepia frame.
Yes.
That might have to happen.
I don't know where. Excuse me.
But my phone's about to die. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna
All
get my
right.
charger.
I'm not the only one who failed on the charger front.
And if you notice, the face in his picture, the one that he posted and the one that you guys posted, is a little different. You
Yeah,
guys
we
noticed
were
that?
talking about that.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck. Look at me, I'm like, hey guys.
Yeah. No, we were
Oh my God, it's
comparing
so
it.
good. Look at her.
She's so kick butt.
Fuck.
You guys should have seen the chat between us and Meg when Zach sent us that picture
Oh
yesterday.
my God.
It's so funny.
So good. Like legit, I hadn't stopped thinking about it since I saw it. Like every time, like I'm not thinking of something, it pops into my head.
Yeah, I've been just staring at it all day.
Yeah.
It's just, I love that picture
It's
so
so pretty.
much.
It's gonna be my first tattoo, just across my fucking face, like my forehead. That's what it's gonna be.
You're gonna need one hell of a tattoo artist for that.
I know, right? There's
And
plenty
she's
of
got-
space, though.
She got to live stream it too.
Oh
Why is
yeah.
that means that you're breaking your word, because we had a deal that our first tattoos are gonna be that Justice Con logo.
Oh fuck, you're right. Well, I'm sorry. Wonder Woman with 3 severed heads. That's that tops it.
next.
So.
I don't know, Sophie. I don't know you, but you're awesome.
She is so funny.
Yeah.
She was actually one of the ones that came here when we had, that stream that kind of crossed up 4 streams.
Yeah.
And she is hilarious. Like, there's so many times that we'll talk and then just like one simple text like that, and it's like I'm laughing out loud, like for real.
Danny on Twitter, Danny made a really good point, and I also been thinking of, like, it's been rolling around in my brain, that in the first Wonder Woman movie, I mean, she was literally like brutally murdering people, but no one really ever like pitches a bitch about that,
because they
But,
don't walk, because she didn't walk over to the bodies or something. They're just like, oh, she just threw a tank at that guy. He's definitely dead, but I don't care. I don't have to see
she
it.
just fucking knee kicked a guy through a fucking wall of a 3-story building.
He's okay.
Hey, good.
Hello, I'm back.
Don't worry, he's fine.
Yeah, Meg, that's what I was telling them earlier too. Is I said we can watch, Logan, that is just like brutally killing people with those spikes through the head, and Deadpool, and there's no issue. We're like, yeah, bring it on. But she holds
It's
3
just
severed
so-
heads, and they're like,
Yeah, it's so irritating because, like, I love Patty Jenkins to death, okay? But her comments really pissed me off. Like, the way she said, like, women don't want to see that. I'm sorry.
Not all women, I guess.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, I feel like a majority of women definitely, like, I'm sorry, but, like, I grew up with characters like fucking Sarah Connor, who
yes,
shotgunned people.
In the face.
Yeah. So, I don't. There's obviously needs to be a balance. She can't be chopping people's heads off, all the
entire
time.
time. Yeah.
But she also can't be
definitely can't fit that
not
into the
swinging
shopping
a
mall.
single punch at Cheetah the whole time.
Can I be
So
cheesy and
yes.
say something? Okay. A lot. I don't know what you guys think about the Ghostbusters remake. I personally loved it, and the moment all 4 of them or 5 of them were fighting and killing all the ghosts, I genuinely got so excited. I loved seeing them kick butts and kill ghosts.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's so limiting to like a way to alienate almost your entire like
yeah.
it's so alienating to say that women don't want to see her cutting heads off.
Like, yes, we do. We would love that. Thank you.
But it was also
I
explained.
dream about cutting heads off 3 times a day.
Yeah.
But I mean, it
And
was
that's
also
the
explained
I
in
wouldn't
that
I want
anecdote,
to cut
though.
everybody's fucking heads off.
Yeah, we've all worked retail at least once.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
What were you gonna say, Chelsea?
She also made a comment in the article about how like women are nurturing, and that doesn't sit right with me because it's like,
Not every woman
it's
is
like
a
not
fucking
every woman
mom.
is like that though.
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
Not
even if
only-
Diana is like that, she can still be a warrior because
Yeah.
that's what she is.
Honestly,
Yeah.
moms are bigger warriors than
She's-
anything.
Like she's like a very strong character. She's very compassionate, but she'll also like handle shit when she needs to handle shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it was explained in that picture that Cole showed is when she was talking to Batman, saying, you murdered these people. She's like, no, I was protecting the children, and it's like, but you're showing them off as like trophies. No, it's a warning.
Ugh, yes,
Totally
Jill.
different.
Exactly.
It's no different than like when you see in Pirates of the Caribbean when they come to the English towns
Yep.
and they see they hung the pirates' bodies out to dry. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's
Example.
literally the same. It's a warning to you
Yep.
that hey, we don't fuck around, even though they lost Jack Sparrow. Anyway,
I made this point yesterday because like after she said those comments, I kept going back to a conversation that a picture she posted in a reply to James Cameron, because James Cameron said that, I don't remember exactly what he said about Wonder Woman, the movie or the character, but she says, I believe women can and should be everything just like male lead characters should be. There is no right and wrong way to be a woman, and the massive female audience who made the film a hit, the hit it is, can surely choose and judge their own icons of progress.
Exactly.
So I feel like when she says no one wants to see this in this character, it's
she's
like
kind
okay,
of
but
going back on
you're
her own words.
contradicting what you
And
said.
she's like, she's
Yeah.
stereotyping. And it's
Yeah.
just
Like
Yeah, it's enforcing a stereotype to say
Yeah.
that. Like that's just not how. And the thing is like when you look at Diana, you look at her and compared to the Justice League, and obviously she currently, like in the Justice League, we're gonna see she's the only woman there. She's also pretty much the most powerful character that's there.
Mm-hmm.
right.
I
I
mean,
mean, she's the
obviously
warrior of the group.
Because
Exactly.
Clark is somewhere, but when you like, she's a goddess.
Yeah.
She's a freaking goddess. Like her abilities, the amount of them, the sheer amount of her skills and abilities, and she was raised and trained for this.
She was
Unlike
trained as a god killer, literally.
millennia of years. Like
Yeah, and I think that's what the first Wonder Woman did so well, is that it balanced between the two. Like it showed that Diana was super compassionate and loving and caring, but it also showed how powerful, strong, and badass she is. Like
Mm-hmm.
she literally just goes off to man's world with a guy she just met to defeat Ares and save mankind. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
that shows she's very compassionate, but she's also like, all right, I gotta go handle shit, so let's go.
But she also in that movie, which I love too, is just the fact that, you always have this, contradiction of, men are better than women, or, so I loved in the first movie that you could have Diana, who was super strong, kick butt woman, and you could still have her fighting and working side by side with Steve, and she didn't have to emasculate him. She didn't have
Right.
to. They complemented each other, and that's what I loved about the Wonder Woman 84 is when he came back into this movie, when he's riding the tank, and they had that same camaraderie. They had that same,
Yeah.
working together, and but they still both had their kick butt times without making one lesser.
Yeah, like in
And
the
what I
first
loved about the first one too is that like it didn't focus solely on the fact that she's a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
it wasn't
I
like
mean, she's an Amazon, yeah, but like she's
it
also
wasn't
like
constantly like, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a woman. It was like,
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
a
did like when she was
kick-ass
trying dresses on, and she's like, "Where do you put your sword?"
yeah.
Yes.
Or like when like, part of me was expecting in the no man's land scene when she turns around and he says no man can cross it, and she says but I can. I kind of expected a Lord of the Rings moment where it could go, but I am no man, but I can see why that wouldn't fit.
Challenge
Well,
Because
accepted.
like
They
That's
did
one
that
of the
earlier in the
reasons why I
movie
like
when
it
they're
so
on the ship where she's like, "Oh, I'm the man who can," or when they're talking about defeating Ares, crossing no man's land. It's like, yeah, you are the fucking man who can.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it look good too.
Yes.
That's what to me makes her relatable, and I agree with you, Meg. Like the comment was quite upsetting from Patty because, like, to me, I grew up being a ice hockey player, which, especially where I am from, even more so than anywhere else, it's considered predominantly male sport.
Mhm.
And I had to do quite a lot to even have a shot at playing.
Yeah.
Because I was a girl, I was automatically like put on the back burner of things. But that's not really the point. The point is, obviously, when you play this kind of sport and the ways you work out, you spend your time surrounded mostly by men or boys.
Mhm.
You don't like. I would train 2 times a day. I didn't have time to put makeup on after each training or stuff like that. But by the time I finished, by the time just before my injury came about and I had to stop playing, I started sort of discovering like the very female side of me, like I like to wear heels and makeup and dresses and all that stuff. And I didn't come to it until later on in my life. Before that, I was, a big time tomboy. I just didn't have the feminine side that people would expect.
Mhm.
But at certain point it kind of mixed, and I was both, and I had both, and I like to see that in the characters as well, because women are not one dimensional.
No.
If you are a woman who enjoys dressing up and wear makeup like I do, it does not necessarily mean that you can't also enjoy doing stuff that's not considered as feminine. Like, we are not just one or the other. We can be both. And I made a post about it with Diana today with the putting photo. I screenshotted the trailer one where she's smiling at the girl, and you get to see the nurturing side of her, the motherly kind of thing, and also the superhero part of her. And then I had the picture of her holding the 3 hats, and I said it's not either or, it's both.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can be both.
Yeah, I mean, because her comments were just it's such a step back because it's pretty much saying, yes, right there.
Yeah.
It's pretty much saying that, like, okay, we can have female characters, but you can't be too aggressive. You can't be too powerful. We gotta dumb it down a little bit for you guys. I'm sorry, but
Doesn't seem fair.
it doesn't, because I'm sorry, if I want to see a guy, if I want to see a male character do that shit, why wouldn't I want to see a female character do it?
Exactly.
What's the difference other than one's a guy, one's a girl?
Right.
But
I
it's
mean,
also the same way I want to see male characters be nurturing and
Exactly.
sensitive. I want to see that too, because that's what life is.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's just disappointing.
human beings have so many different facets, and that's the human experience, and it's just stupid and stereotypical to limit yourself to one sort of stereotype.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Diana, because she can show the godlike side, holding 3 heads and, riding the lightning with her lasso, and then sitting there trying to save kids from not getting hit by a car, and,
Right.
going like this when she's like fighting someone in the mall because, it just shows her God side and it shows her human side, and that's what I like about it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think this is a good place to end tonight.
Yes.
Any parting remarks, ladies, before we go to introductions?
I would just like to say I stand with Ray Fisher,
Yes.
and that's
yeah.
that's where I would like to end on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's a good way to kind of go on it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this to Cole because she has like a whole new system here.
Oh, okay. So, because it's hard to get for everyone to rattle off what their usernames are, we made like a little business cards, kind of.
The digital
I'm
card.
totally gonna make business cards now. I'm gonna
Heck
hand them out
yeah.
to everyone.
I mean, we have business cards; they're kind of tight. So this is where you can find Chelsea. She was comic book debate.
Look at
That's
your
her
hair.
her
Very
Vero,
nice.
her Twitter, her Instagram. This is where you can find the lovely Tifftastic.
Mhm.
And this is where you can find El Mego.
Hey.
Which is like literally everywhere because she's done
Yes.
Sorry. If you guys don't like seeing me, I'm sorry. At this
Like-
point, I'm everywhere.
It's like Anchorman. I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, no.
And this is where you can find us, but I don't know why I listed our YouTube because you're literally like on our YouTube right now.
I know, right? Like,
You forget.
if you don't know where our YouTube is, we have a problem right now. How are you even here?
It's a different kind of special.
Mhm.
Yes, but one more person who obviously we don't have a card for yet, but if she wants to stay with us, she will get one of her own. So Amanda, would you like to tell us where we can find you and projects that you're working on and stuff?
Currently, I am just being me. Hi. I have my username right here on display, but I also have a personal Twitter and I have an Instagram. I can give you guys that information later because I don't exactly remember at the top of my head right now. But I will definitely come back. I really enjoyed it.
You can find her under Zack Snide Ho.
Love that username so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
I know.
right. So I think that's it for tonight. So League of Mayhem signing off.
Heck yeah.
Bye.